appointed 5 school districts. Also, what to do, how to do, when to do.
In Columbus, what will your administration do to better work with students here at the W on issues that directly affect us?
Relationship. As far as from a safety standpoint, is that our chief of police and as far as working with the city of Columbus and the MW County.
Now, how influential are their plans to be selected?
As far as Millennium having input, is that just like election going on to the table, from the mayor's office standpoint, is that the door is always open. Our meetings are always open to the public, to where you can voice your concerns and sentiments concerning the city of Columbus. In our community,
Yes, sir.
well, it reduced from 1:30 to 10 o'clock, and then after several meetings with the citizen and his command staff, we came to a compromise to where the compromise was is that we changed the time from 8-week time period. What they said they would do, the city did what they said they would do. For instance, the Oxford load was like 325, the front section is 163. So we agreed to close the back section, but Mr. Todd Gill, Executive Director of the Columbus Light and Water Department, and we increased the lighting to what you call the central district. The central district, that was called the central district. So what we have done, and they already started yesterday, is increasing the wattage there from each pole. Also, the city is in the process of installing surveillance cameras. They'll be installed from the Light and Water Department, City of 5th and Main.
And it is observed by many citizens of Columbus that, it can be a place of frustration for like our bright, up-and-coming young professionals, leading them to kind of migrate to other counties. My question then is, how important is
I said from the beginning, we provided all the resources that requested from the chief. Matter of fact, for an example, is that we increased the salary. I made a recommendation after talking to the chief back in December. We increased the salary for a beginning police officer from $31,000 to $34,986. And then once that officer became certified after a year, that officer's salary would increase to $37,000. And if you think about the average teacher, beginning teacher salary, beginning is probably about during that. Some other officers' salary increased overnight. Once the vote was taken, like they received a $5,000 increase. Also, as an incentive to the officers, we'll provide from the mayor city council standpoint, working with the chief as to what his requests are, as far as trying to get the officers that have been budgeted for. So we do it in the next 2 or 3 months.
Homelessness has become a rising issue in our community. Are there any plans for shelters?
Are you referring to home shelters?
Yes, sir.
That has been discussed. We had a interlocal governmental committee that was between the mayor and the council and the board of supervisors. It's been discussed on numerous issues. It's the price and the liability of shelters.
Speaking of costs, how will the operations of the new amphitheater be handled?
Well, once it's completed, we already have 2 venue consultants, promoters, if you want to say. We call them venue. Amphitheaters, like the first phase of it should be complete in June. Cradle Construction is the contractor for the first phase, and this Columbus. This was money that was funded through the state of Mississippi, where Representative Jeff Smith introduced this bill about 2 years ago, and the amphitheater, the stage will be completed in June. All the underground utilities have been ran, the sewage, water, and the bond bill was kill, and hopefully, when the legislature reconvene,
Who will be in charge of hiring as a staff for the amphitheater?
jobs, how many jobs it will be, it could be from 50 to 100 jobs, but right now, I cannot give you a concrete figure.
There's concern that recycling in the city has deteriorated.
But the city, and I thought they were doing great, and some of the students was doing recycling. And, point that some other company will come in and continue recycling efforts. What can you do to improve the relationship between the mayor and citizens? Have a complaint is that once my secretary, whether it's an email, or text message, at different workshops or venues out of town, once I return, I try to return those calls and accommodate the citizens.
After 10 years, why do you want to be mayor again?
Sometimes, you know how else you have no earthly idea what you have to deal with. From I was with students, teachers, school board, tell you about dogs barking and scaring me. You need to stop my neighbor dog from barking. And you know, my question is, how can I stop a statement that was made to me one day said that, well, your predecessor, Mr. Rupp, he used to, I don't even use the river walk.
As a future, how would you like to increase the that for educators? How would you like to increase?
And is committed from students. That's why I made the statement in the beginning, is that from the mayor of city council standpoint, to be done to make sure that every student get a quality education or the best education. And from the standpoint of students not getting an education, is that, you know, if you old timer like they really want to get an education. And college is not for everyone. I mean, the first NTE program, Become University, that coming about there where you can get, you think about it, I look at it a lot of times as a plumber, electrician, a carpenter, and in a year.
What distinguishes you from the other candidates?
I thought we were supposed to say anything like that. Nah, I'm just teasing. I'll say this, is that Lama's a great place to live, work, and raise a family, and also, now, whatever the case may be, right? And that's what distinguishes me personally, what I would say, is that I have leadership skills, I have organizational skills, administrative skills, and planning skills. And that's what I think you need to be an effective mayor for the city of Columbus.
Thank you. Sorry, we have another question. What is your stand on public transportation?
We need public transportation. We got hooked as we speak. We are in the process of working with a company on the, it will be in full force.
Is there a budget, and do you think that budgeting issues, like, do you think the budget is sufficient?
I think meal, 43.69 mil, which meal is valued at $179,000. And that needs would be for the upcoming school year, which
Be any other questions?
How Columbus can attract more businesses, cohesive plan.
two corridors is first attract from the industrial development standpoint. So to answer your question, yes, ma'am, they're constantly working. C. Penny to be moving out soon. We're already in the works as for us to bring in some high scale, Tuscaloosa, Jackson, Memphis, and Birmingham. So there are 3 developers working with to add to what your question that you asked is sort of like a chamber.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
Thank you very
yes,
much.
ma'am.
Mayor Smith, because of the monthly costs and prices, a lot of them are old shows, like from the 70s and what. Now, I'm not against, the Jefferson, Sampson, when you have another competing cable company for us to choose from.
Well, you do have an option for direct TV, but to answer your question first, and it's pretty tough to try to regulate the cable company. So to answer your question bluntly is that right now, from the mayor to
Good evening, Mayor Smith. Thank you.
yes, sir.
We appreciate you being here this evening as well. Thank you
Thank
for
you.
taking the time to do that. My question would be, if re-elected, what
Well, one I answered earlier, Brother Matthew, is to do whatever it takes to make Columbus a more safer place to live, work, and raise a family. Also, from your manufacturing standpoint, is that, an example, Airbus, PACCAR, whatever the case may be, well, some individuals might not want to lay you is that you can get there. So we need to look at small scales as far as jobs, as far as from a retail development standpoint, infrastructure standpoint. Is that, normally we do milling, paving, striping, doing reflectors, sidewalk, curtain gutters on a 2-year scale. And you know this as well as I do, is that it's, as far as elected, I probably do a better job as far as trying to get more geo bonds where you can see improvement on a yearly basis as far as from the infrastructure standpoint rather than every 2 or 3 year standpoint. Also from a recreational standpoint, is that something that is mandatory because we have a problem concerning the recreation. The county and the city will split October 1. So, by October 1, a comprehensive plan that would include the youth, our for the
Fraternity Incorporated, as well as the inpatient service to our community, and we do wish you the best on May 2nd. For coming out with us tonight. We also would like to announce that on Thursday night at the Columbus, and join us there as well. I would like to ask that all city leaders, pastorals,